How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today I'm really excited because we're going to be taking a look at Hatchet III. This is from 2014 and was directed by B J McDonnell. Yeah, this is the first and so far only film in the Hatchet series not directed by Adam Green, but don't worry, it still very much feels like the world of Hatchet because Adam Green was the writer and the producer on this movie. That's why it still says Adam Green presents Hatchet, but this movie's director B J McDonnell was the guy that would give us Studio 666 a little bit later, so the franchise is in good hands. Once again, we star Kane Hodder and Danielle Harris returning to their previous roles, but you know Hatchet, we're gonna throw in some other familiar faces from horror movies. This movie introduces Zach Galligan, the guy from Gremlins, he plays the sheriff, and we also have Caroline Williams, Stretch from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Really great to see her in this movie. Also keep an eye out for a few other familiar faces as well. Again, this is Hatchet. But that being said, this is the third Hatchet movie, the last one in the series to be called Hatchet. After this, we would get Victor Crowley. But yeah, the end of the original trilogy. If you guys don't know, the first three Hatchet films actually directly connect to each other. Like, the shot that ended one movie will literally be the opening shot of the next one, and if you want to, you can watch them all together as one big, long, 4+ hour slasher epic. And now that we have the third piece, it really does read as a full, giant movie. Hatchet 1 is the introduction. It's a little more funny and introduces the concept. Hatchet 2 is the bridge. It introduces that the world is connected and continuing, and shows that this is going to be a big problem for Mary Beth. And now we get to Hatchet 3, the big epic finale. And yeah, I do mean big and epic. It actually feels like we have a chance to maybe kill Victor Crowley once and for all this time. And there's a whole bunch of guns and action and shooting and crazy kills. This is the ending. They didn't call it Hatchet the Final Chapter, but it really does feel like a final chapter type horror movie, and I'm a guy who's a big fan of Friday 4. I love it when slashers think it's going to be the last one and really just swing for the fences, and this really does complete the epic movie. And what can I say? I really do like this one. Definitely recommend it. If you guys weren't fans that Hatchet 2 was a little derivative and never got to the third one, please just finish it out. It's definitely worth your time, and it's just great to see the final piece in this like epic puzzle. And I do love how Hatchet is essentially one giant movie in 3 parts. That's really cool. But anyway, I do want to talk in a little bit more specifics. I want to dive in and talk about some scenes and plot points and do a little bit more of an in-depth analysis. I'll be avoiding the end bits and I'll try not to do any major spoilers, but from here on out, let's dive in a little deeper. Once again, as I said earlier, we open up with the ending of Hatchet 2, and I sure do hope they had the foresight to shoot this back when they had everything set up for Hatchet 2, but who knows. But we get to see Mary Beth, Danielle Harris's character, just shot Victor Crowley in the face. She thinks it's all over. She starts to walk away when of course he does the Michael Myers sit-up thing and is after her once again. Well, she quickly dispatches of him in a pretty epic moment and wanders away from the swamp. Presumably, this whole thing is over. It's a really fun action opening to this movie, and I really do love that Crowley got up just one more time, give Danielle her time to shine right there at the beginning. Well, after this, she wanders into the police station, and I guess you want to report this, but yeah, it's not gonna look too good for you, Mary Beth. You're literally walking into a police station covered in blood, a gun in one hand and a scalp in the other. Yeah, they're going to be a little suspicious of you. She tells them the story, and there's a super funny Easter egg where the sheriff says it's contrived. Adam Green's character is in the next cell and he hears this criticism of Mary Beth's story and you see this like sadness in his face. Bear in mind, he wrote this one too, but yeah, love that cameo. And boy, what has his character been doing this whole time? That would be a fun movie in and of itself. But anyway, the sheriff is going to be Zach Galligan's character, and I do love how he's kind of an antagonistic force in this. He doesn't believe her, he's going to keep her in prison, but for real, what would you expect someone to do? Would you honestly suspect the sheriff to believe the local legend? Yeah, he's going to lock Mary Beth up, but at the same time, Zach Galligan doesn't play him as evil. Yeah, he's stubborn, but he's honestly more just tired and rational than anything else. And hearing her story, hearing her say, everyone's dead, 20, 30 people are dead, he sends an initial crew to go and clean up the bodies, which are surprisingly still there. I thought after her father and brother's corpses disappeared, that was just a thing that happened in the swamp, but no, the bodies are still there. Some really fun references to the past two movies playing, hey, do you remember that kill, right? And I also love that one of the paramedics is played by Perry Shin, the guy who was in the past two movies as two different characters, and they don't ever really explain it here. They just say, hey, I think I saw the corpse that looks like you. Ah, come on, quit that. That's all we're gonna say, and we're just gonna move on from there. But good to see him in this movie this time around, and I really do love his character, but more on that in a second. We get to see this cool paramedic boat, like an ambulance pontoon boat, and it's really cool. It's got this whole big room inside of it, and they're bringing all the bodies and evidence there, which means, yeah, you're bringing Victor Crowley's corpse and a bunch of weapons to this one little boat. Things are gonna go wrong with the initial crew, and Zach Galligan's gonna hear about it over the radio and come with a bunch of officers, as well as some SWAT team guys. And I do like the characters in this one are a step up from Hatchet 2. One of my things I said about Hatchet 2 was the characters were all just kind of monster hunters and there were only a few standouts. This is a little better. You see where Zach Galligan's coming from. You have Perry Shin doing a pretty good character, but you also have a few others like this one deputy who like totally believes Victor Crowley's out there, really doesn't want to be here, and packs a bazooka. He's pretty fun, but you also get the head of the SWAT team who takes things over and says, do you really think one girl did all this? You know, gets in his face, starts to question him, but also seems to strangely believe and maybe have a vendetta against Victor Crowley, and you're like, what's this guy's deal? Why does he want to fight Victor Crowley? Well, the answer is, this is the actor that played Jason in the reboot, so it's just the two Jasons wanting to fight each other. A good bit of an inside joke, and I like that the actors can play off that. Well, they'll eventually find the medic, and he's the only one that survived because he says, there's a big scary killer out there, I'm going to hide. So he's kind of the scrappy character. I really do like that. Obviously, the boat captain's my favorite version of him, but this guy's my second. He's pretty cool. And they realize that they are indeed in trouble, and there's a killer after them, but this time we have SWAT guys. Surely we can take him, right? And I said that Hatchet 2 probably should have been a little more like Aliens. Well, this movie is where we finally get that coming into play. Boy, Victor Crowley is going to face a hail of gunfire. It's going to be quite epic. Again, a really good battle here. But of course, while all this is going on, Mary Beth's locked in prison. But don't worry, not for long. Caroline Williams is a reporter, a Victor Crowley specialist that's kind of been laughed out of the mainstream. She wants to prove that Crowley's real, and maybe, just maybe, she knows a way to take him down once and for all, given all her research. Well, it turns out she's actually Zach Galligan's ex-wife, and in turn, she kind of knows and has some sway in the police station. Get Zach Galligan's best friend and break Danielle Harris out and go on your own little quest and try to figure out a way to stop Crowley. I will say, Danielle Harris is kind of given a weird B-plot this time around. Like, she's not in the swamp the whole time. But you know what? I'm okay with it because she's not just the final girl from the last movie lying in a hospital bed or anything. She's out there, she's active, and she's doing something important. Plus, this character just spent 2 movies in the swamp. Yeah, maybe we should have her do something a little different. And you know what? We gave her a cool epic moment at the beginning, and we know another one is coming at the end. So don't worry. She will get in on the action again pretty soon. And I won't go any farther. I do want to say, yeah, things heat up, and I mean really heat up, and this has some of the most intense moments from the original trilogy. Yeah, Hatchet 3 is really good. This is the movie where it all comes together and has a big finale, and honestly, I think you kinda do gotta watch them all together. This is a slasher epic, something which we really wouldn't see done again until like Terrifier 2, you know? So yeah, this is cool. Definitely recommend it. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But yeah, this is the end of the direct connecting movies. Still have Victor Crowley, and I really am looking forward to covering that one. Anyway though, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You really are helping the channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist on the bottom. This should be my Hatchet playlist. If you guys want to see me talk about the past movies, you should be able to find those there, but I definitely look forward to adding more to this pretty soon. Anyway, have a good day. See you guys again very, very soon. Playlist here. Have a good day now.